In this case also, you may know breathing in and breathing out at the nostrils. That is one way you may follow this. Or you may know the breathing in at the nostrils and at the chest. You may know 1 point, 2 points. With the 2 points, you may observe, you may know the breathing in. The starting point at the nostril, the abdomen at the end. The end of the breathing end is abdomen, and the start of the breathing out arises at the abdomen, and then the breathing out ends at the nostril. In this way also you may know what the 2 points of the breathing in, breathing out. And again, if you wish, you may know what the 3 points. The first point for the breathing in is the nostril and the chest. The chest, the chest and the abdomen. And for the breathing out, the starting point is the abdomen, and the middle is the heart, the chest, and the ending point is the nostril. In this way, with the 3 points each, you may know. You may know one of these 3 methods, depending on your situation. If you are convenient to know at the nostrils only 1 point, then you try to know the breathing in and breathing out at the nostril. That is only 1 point. If you are convenient to know the breathing in and breathing out with the 2 points, you may follow this. 1 point at the nostril and the other point at the abdomen for the breathing in. For the breathing out, 1 point at the abdomen and the other points at the nostril with the 2 points. If you are convenient to know what the 3 points, then you may follow it. The beginning point for the breathing in is nostril, the middle point, the heart or the chest, and the final point is abdomen. And for the breathing out, the beginning point is the abdomen, the middle point is the heart or the chest, and the final point is the nostril. In this way, you may follow this if you are convenient, when you can control your mind with the 3 points, depending on your situation, your life. In this way, trying to establish the concentration. That is the way to establish the concentration. By doing so, your mind becomes stable and still together with your breathing. So you may not miss any breathing if you do so. But that's why you follow the meditation. That is a very easy, that is a very clear to understand. It is very easy to practice. In this way, try to establish concentration. Please try to be mindful of of every breathing. And you will realize the every breathing is impermanent, just arise and just disappear, just arise and just disappear. So that is the nature. That is the nature of breathing. That is the nature of air elements. Breathing in and disappear. Breathing out and disappear. When you see this, the air element is not permanent. It is impermanent. It arises together with arising and disappearing. It is always changing. It is changing all the time. It is impermanent. So this is called suffering, dukkha satya. The breathing and arise and disappear, you cannot make it stay forever. You cannot give any command, let the breathing and stay forever without disappearing. You cannot say like this. You cannot wish like this. Even though you wish like this, your wish will never be fulfilled. In the same way, breathing out also cannot be controlled by anyone. Breathing out, rise, and after that disappear. That is its nature. Its nature. We cannot control. So regarding this, we may understand the breathing is just air elements. The breathing is just air elements, not the person, not the ego, not the soul. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Just air elements. Not the man, not the woman. You are air elements. Normally we say we are breathing. I am breathing. But actually there's no I who can breathe. There's no the person who can breathe. There's no man who can breathe. There's no woman who can breathe. Just breathing in arises and breathing out arises. Because of this breathing, we are alive. We can survive. When there is no breathing, we cannot be survived. We cannot be alive. We cannot survive ourselves. So, breathing arises all the time. When there is no breathing, there will not be life. When there is a breathing, there will be life. We will be live, alive. So in this way, we come to understand breathing is a nature. The breathing arises according to its nature. Naturally arises. Naturally arises. We cannot make any efforts to breathe. This body naturally breathes even though we are mindful. The breathing will arise. Whether we are mindful or not, whether we don't know or not, we know or not, the breathing arises all the time. So we come to be closed with the nature of breathing, air elements. The air elements can make us alive. Because of this air element, we are alive. Actually, that air element is not the person, not the man or not the woman, just the air elements. This air elements fulfill our necessary oxygens in our body. Because of this air elements, our blood circulation works normally. And because of these air elements, our body can work systematically. If we lost these air elements, this body cannot work at all, cannot be alive at all. That is why the air element supports us to be alive. This air elements helps us be alive. So in this way, we clearly understand that there is no the person who can breathe. There is no I who can breathe. The air elements naturally arises. So you have to try to realize this nature. You come to know the real nature of the air elements. This air element rises and disappears, rises and disappears. We cannot control it. We cannot command it not to arise. We cannot command it to stay forever. According to its nature, the air elements arises and disappears. We don't own these air elements. These air elements does not belong to us. Does not belong to us. It naturally arises and then disappears. That is its nature. We cannot control. If we own these air elements, so we can control. If these air elements belong to us, we can control it. Now, it is not like that. According to its nature, it arises and disappears, arises and disappears. You need to be mindful with concentration, with the effort, with the mindfulness, with the mindfulness, yes. So, you know its nature. It is very simple. It is very easy to know. This way of knowing repeatedly becomes a meditation practice. So when you see the arising and breathing in and breathing out, arises and disappears. Then when you see this, you see dukkha satya. Because it arises and disappears, so we cannot control. That is why This nature is dukkha satya. You realize with your own wisdom the arising and disappearing. You know the real nature of arising and disappearing. So this is called dukkha satya. Dukkha satya. That means arising and disappearing. Arising and disappearing of matter is also dukkha satya. Arising and disappearing of mind is also dukkha satya. Now you see this dukkha satya with your wisdom eyes. So your wisdom eyes is called mega satya. And the Four Noble Truths. There are Four Noble Truths we have already discussed. We are discussing now. Arising and disappearing is dukkha satya. The wisdom or the knowledge you see is mega satya. When you know this, there is no attachment. There is no clinging. There is no attachment to the breathing. There is no clinging to the breathing. So attachment also cannot arise. Clinging also cannot arise. Hatred also cannot arise. Delusion is also cannot arise. No defilements can arise at the moment of knowing the arising and disappearing, because you know as it really is. So when you know the reality, the real nature of the air elements, no defilements that cannot arise. That means the samudaya satya cannot arise. The cause of the suffering, the truth of the cause of the suffering, the truth of the origin of the suffering. That is called samudaya satya. So this samudaya satya cannot arise when you have maga satya. At that moment, your mind will be peaceful. Your mind will be pleased. Your mind will be calmed down. So this peacefulness, this peaceful situation is called Nirodha Satya. The cessation of the truth of suffering. The cessation of the truth of suffering, Nirodha Satya. Now you see the arising and disappearing. You can reflect this. Arising and disappearing is dukkha satya. The wisdom you see this is maga satya. And the defilements that cannot arise at that moment is samudaya satya. When there is no defilements, your mind will become peaceful. This peacefulness is a Nirodha Satya, because the Nirodha Satya is the noble truth. It is from the good side, from the right side, from the white side. That is the result of the Maga Satya. Dukkha Satya is the result of Samudaya Satya. Samudaya Satya is the cause. Dukkha Satya is the effect. Maga Satya is the cause. Nirodha Satya is the effect. In this way, the Four Noble Truths have the cause and effect. Samudaya Satya is the cause for Dukkha Satya. Magga Satya is the cause for Nirodha Satya. In our long samsara journey, we have only two truths. They are Dukkha Satya and Samudaya Satya. We have only two truths. We have only two truths throughout our samsara. That is why we cannot escape from this suffering, dukkha satya. We cannot escape. We cannot, attain nibbana. We are going in the samsara with the dukkha satya because we cannot remove samudaya satya. We cannot eradicate the samudaya satya. So long as we cannot eradicate the samudaya satya, we will have dukkha satya life after life in the long journey of the samsara. Now, when you are practicing like this, you see the dukkha satya, the arising and disappearing. When you are mindful of breathing in and breathing out, every breathing arises and disappears. You see this? You notice, you realize this. This is what we call dukkha satya, arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing. Even though we call the breathing, when you look at this breathing, you realize that arising and disappearing. When you see the breathing, when you look at the breathing, when you are mindful to the breathing, first of all, you know this is a breathing in. When the wisdom investigates it, you realize that breathing in disappears. Then breathing in arises, and finally it disappears. In the same way, breathing out arises, finally it disappears. So, when you watch the breathing in and breathing out, you will realize directly the arising and disappearing of those breathings. Then the arising and disappearing is called dukkha satya because they are arising and disappearing. What you know is magga satya. The wisdom is magga satya. At that moment, samudaya satya cannot arise. That means that the defilements we call samudaya satya, the defilements cannot arise at that moment. The origin of samudaya satya is tanha, attachment or craving. So this attachment or craving cannot arise. That is called samudaya satya cannot arise. Because magga satya arises. At the moment of magga satya, samudaya satya cannot arise. There is no place for the samudaya satya. There is no room for the samudaya satya to arise. Because we have magga satya. Magga satya replaced in the place of samudaya satya. If we do not practice like this, samudaya satya takes its place firmly. Samudaya satya is rooted in us. Whenever we don't practice the vipassana like this, Samudaya Satya arises all the time. So long as we have Samudaya Satya, we will never escape from suffering, Dukkha Satya. Now we are seeing the arising and disappearing with the wisdom eyes. Then we have Magga Satya. Magga Satya is replaced. Magga Satya replaced the place of the Samudaya Satya. Samudaya Satya is removed by the Magga Satya. When we can finally, when we can remove the Samudaya Satya from us at all, we will attain Nibbana. That Nibbana is called Nirodha Satya, the truth of the cessation of suffering. So in order to reach this situation, what shall we do? We have to try to practice Vipassana. Now Vipassana, the words seems to be difficult when we hear the words Vipassana. We are afraid of practice. Actually, if we know the way to practice Vipassana, it is easy going. Now you are breathing in and breathing out. You just make an effort a little bit to realize the arising and disappearing, or the starting point and ending point of the breathing in, and the starting point and ending point of the breathing out. Then when you know this, you are practicing Vipassana. So, when we hear the words Vipassana, we may be afraid of if we don't know well. Now we know well about this. That is why Vipassana is easy going. If we don't know like this, it seems to us, oh, Vipassana practice is very complicated and very difficult, very profound. Actually, it is really profound. But if we know the correct way to practice, it is very easy trying to focus, to see the arising and disappearing of every breathing. And when you see the everything breathing is impermanent, you are practicing the Vipassana. If time is up, we have to stop our meditation practice now. 30 minutes is a complete. Close, open your eyes. I hope you can follow my instruction. It is very easy to practice. Now, we go to our lessons. Before we go there, I have to share. Okay, last week I introduced the truth of the origin of suffering. As you all know, there are four noble truths. The first truth is the Dukkha Satya, the truth of suffering. Now we have discussed about the real truth of suffering, outwardly and inwardly. Outwardly, we can know easily when you are getting old, that is dukkha satya. When you feel sick, that is dukkha satya. When someone dies, that is the dukkha satya. When you feel sorry, lamentation, then that is also dukkha satya. When you have stress in your mind, that is also dukkha satya. So in this way, we have already explained about the dukkha satya in detail. Today, we will move to the second satya, samudaya satya, the cause of the dukkha satya. So the origin of suffering is, craving, tanha in Pali, craving. So this craving here leads to the future lives of Purnabhavika. Because we have craving, we have tanha, we will be reborn in the next life. If we don't have this craving, we will not be reborn in the next life. That is why, so long as we have craving, we must go around in the samsara. And again, mixed up with real religion and greed, nandi raga sahakata. The craving arises together with the greed. Craving is a kind of greed. When we crave our body, that is also greed. When we crave our mind, that is also greed. When we crave something, that is also greed. So craving arises together with greed, taking pleasures wherever it lands, tatra vinanti. So the craving, the nature of craving, takes the pleasure wherever it lands. That means wherever it lands, we may feel pleasure when we have craving. When we have craving, that is the craving for sensual pleasure, kamatana, craving for existence, pavatana, and craving for non-existence. So taking pleasures wherever it lands, that means that when the craving brings you to the human being life, then you will have craving in the human realm. When your craving leads you to the Deva realm, then also you will crave for the life of the Deva realm. In the same way, wherever we are reborn, this craving follows us. We will have this same craving, even though we are called human being. The craving, tanha, is the same, even though we are called devas or brahmas. The craving, tanha, is the same, even though we are called for example, the craving and the animals are also, the craving and the animal is also the same to our craving. So craving is the real truth, the cause of suffering. So that is a craving, sensual pleasure, kamatana, but the craving that mostly arises in the sensual, the sense realm, kama bhumi, the four abhayas and human run and Deva runs in these runs. And every creatures and every beings, the craving arises. This kind of craving is called craving for sensual pleasure, Kamatana. Craving for existence, Pavatana. We have craving in every life. And we crave for the life. We crave for the human life. We crave for Deva life. We crave for Brahma life. That is the Pavatana. And crave for non-existence. So we Pavatana. Sometimes we crave for non-existence. Human life is suffering. That is why we don't want to get new life. We don't expect to be reborn as a person in the samsara. Even though we don't want to be reborn at all. So long as we cannot eradicate this craving, it is for sure we will be reborn in the next life. So that is Vipavadana. So there are three kinds of dana. You need to note them roughly. In essence, it is a craving. It is craving. This craving is the origin of samudaya, satya. And also any other defilements are also classed as the samudaya, satya. Where does that craving arise? Where does it settle? Whatever seems nice and pleasant, biyarupa, sadarupa. It is there that craving arises and settles. That means where does the craving arises? And where does the craving still? Whatever seems nice and pleasant, there's a craving. That craving arises and settles. That means that when you see the nice things, you crave for it. When you get the pleasant things, you crave for it. So when you see the nice things, pleasant things, or when you see the nice person or pleasant person, you crave. Then the craving arises, and the craving stays together with that object. For example, when you see lovely person, you love it. So that love is craving. That craving stays together with that lovely person. That is called success. So the craving arises. Whatever seems nice and pleasant. What seems nice and pleasant? Here, the eye seems nice and pleasant. The ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind seems nice and pleasant. And it is there that craving arises and settles. So in the Mahasrikrana Sutta, the Buddha explains what seems nice and pleasant here. Eye seems nice. Eye seems nice and pleasant. The ear seems nice and pleasant. The nose seems nice and pleasant. The tongue seems nice and pleasant. The body seems nice and pleasant. The mind seems nice and pleasant. When you think like that in your mind, then the craving arises and settles. When you see the eyes seem to be nice and pleasant, then the craving still together with that eye, and the craving arises on the eyes, something like that. So that is the wider meaning of the nice and pleasant objects for the craving. And again, the sights seems nice and pleasant. The sounds seem nice and pleasant. The smells seem nice and pleasant. The taste seems nice and pleasant. Touches, photograph, tangible objects seems nice and pleasant. The ideas seem nice and pleasant. And it is there that craving arises and settles. So when you see something or someone sights, then the craving arises. When you hear some pleasant sounds, then you crave. The craving arises. When you get some pleasant smell, good smells, then craving arises. When you eat something good, then you crave it. When you touch with something or somebody, then you crave it. When you think something good in your mind, then you crave it. That is called craving. Craving, dana, arises. And again, the eye consciousness seems nice and pleasant. Ear consciousness seems nice and pleasant. And nose consciousness seems nice and pleasant. Tongue consciousness seems nice and pleasant. Body consciousness seems nice and pleasant. Mind consciousness seems nice and pleasant. And it is there that craving arises and settles. So sometimes unconsciousness make the craving arise. Because of ear consciousness, craving arise. On the nose consciousness, craving may arise. On the tongue consciousness, craving may arise. On the body consciousness, craving may arise. On the mind consciousness, craving may arise. So these are the situations that the craving may arise and settles. And also, eye contact, ear contact, nose contact, tongue contact, body contact, mind contact seems to be nice and pleasant. Then the craving arises. And again, feeling born of eye contact. Jaku sampasatya vedana. Feeling born of ear contact. Feeling born of nose contact. Feeling born of tongue contact. Feeling born of body contact. Feeling born of mind contact. Seems nice and pleasant. Then the craving arises. That's also very easy to understand. Feeling born of eye contact. On the feeling born of eye contact, the craving may arise. On the feeling born of the ear contact, the craving may arise. In the same way, you need to understand that these are the things, the objects, the craving may arise. And again, perceptions of sights, rupa sanya, perceptions of sounds, perceptions of smells, perceptions of taste, perceptions of touches, and perceptions of ideas seem nice and pleasant. And then craving arises and settles, stays. Intention regarding sights intention regarding sounds, intention regarding smells, intention regarding taste, intention regarding touches, intention regarding ideas. Because of those things also craving may arise and subtles. And craving for sights, craving for sounds, craving for smells, craving for taste, craving for touches, and craving for ideas. That is also the reasons for the craving. And thoughts about things, thoughts about sounds, thoughts about sights, thoughts about sounds, thoughts about smells, thoughts about taste, thoughts about touches, and thoughts about ideas. Based on these objects also, the craving may arise. So the Buddha explained with the greater detail to understand for the craving where it arises and settles. Consideration regarding sights, because of this also craving may arise. Consideration regarding sounds, consideration regarding smells, consideration regarding taste, consideration regarding touches, and consideration regarding ideas. The craving may arise. That is called the noble truth of the origin of suffering. That is about the truth of suffering. The truth of suffering. That means the origin of the truth, the origin of the samudaya satya is a craving or jhana. So this jhana may arise for many, many reasons. Buddha explained like this. And also, from the Abhidhamma standpoint, not only the craving, but also the other defilements are considered as the samudaya satya, because all the defilements are the cause of the suffering. And again, all the wholesome jirnas are also samudaya satya, because they are the cause of the suffering. First of all, the jhana or craving is suffering. And again, the defilements, all the defilements are the cause of suffering, samudaya satya. And again, all the unwholesome mental formations are the cause for suffering. And again, all the wholesome mental formations, kusala karma, are the cause for suffering. In this way, we need to understand wisely, because from the Abhidhamma standpoint, when it is the cause is the samudaya satya. So jhana is the cause of suffering. That is why it is called samudaya satya. And other defilements are also the cause of suffering. That is why the defilements are also called samudaya satya. And again, all the unwholesome mental states are the cause of suffering. So they are also samudaya satya. And again, all the wholesome mental states related to the Dhamma are the cause for suffering. So even the wholesome mental states or wholesome mental formations are also samudaya satya. In this way, we need to understand, because whatever to be the cause is samudaya satya. Whatever can be the cause, whatever cause it may be, whatever cause it is, samudaya satya. Because of tanha, we will be reborn in the next life. So that is the cause for the next life. The cause for the next life is samudaya satya. The next life is dukkha satya. And apart from the tanha, the other defilements also the cause for the next life. That is why the other defilements are also samudaya satya. And all the unwholesome mental states are the cause for next life. That is why they are also samudaya satya. And finally, all the wholesome mental states are also the cause for the next life. So even the wholesome mental states are also considered the samudaya satya, because when we have wholesome mental states or wholesome karmas, we will be reborn in the fortunate worlds, in the human world, in the Deva world, or in the Brahma world. We will be reborn. So the wholesome mental states or wholesome karmas are the cause for the next life. That is why all the wholesome mental states can be called samudaya satya. In this way, regarding the samudaya satya, we need to understand clearly. Even though in the Mahāyanā Sutta, only craving is pointed out at the samudaya satya. Not only the craving or tanha, but also the defilements, unwholesome mental states, abunyabi sankhara, unwholesome mental formation, and punyabi sankhara, wholesome mental formation. They are also called samudaya satya because they are the cause for next life. They are the causes for the next life. Whatever the cause they are, every cause is samudaya satya. We have to understand like this. When we understand like this, we may not be confused while we are practicing vipassana. That is why today I want to edit more things for you to understand. Even though in the Mahāyanā Sutta, only craving is mentioned as the samudaya satya, we need to know more about this. Not only the craving, but also the finance, but also the unwholesome mental formation, and also wholesome mental formations are samudaya satya because they can generate the new life in the future. Whatever dhammas that can generate new lives in the future is called samudaya satya. Samudaya satya is the cause. Dukkha satya is the effect. They are related each other by means of cause and effect. We are going around in the samsara by means of cause and effect. Now we have caused, then we will be reborn in the next life in some suitable realm or existence. So it is for sure. We will be reborn in the next life. Because we cannot eradicate this craving, this defilements. We cannot eradicate the unwholesome mental formation. We cannot eradicate wholesome mental formations. Only when we can totally eradicate all the unwholesome and wholesome mental formation. We were totally free from the samsara. So that is the final liberation. It is called Nibbana. In order to reach this final liberation, we have to try to practice vipassana, which can, uh, eradicate all the dhammas related to the samudaya satya. Okay, I explained a lot today. I hope you can catch what I mean. Today I explained all about the samudaya satya, not only in the teaching and the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, but also some other Abhidhamma points of view to cover all the meaning of samudaya satya, the noble truths of the origin of suffering. Now it is up. Now time is up. That is why we'd better stop here for this day. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Dear Sagada, could you explain for my better understanding? You said that even unwholesome or wholesome also is the cause leading to the future life. It means
Yes.
it means it's related to craving. It is the reason of craving. So being layman like us, how can we stop or how can we cut on the violence in this life? Because we are just the beginners.
Yes, right. Good questions. We are beginners, not only you, but also we also are beginners. But that is an, we should practice gradually. For ordinary lay persons, you may practice. You may accumulate it. You may accumulate merits first by the practicing the doing charity, dana, or practicing observing the precept or sila, and practicing samatha meditation. By doing so, we can reduce our craving little by little. And then finally, when we practice vipassana with might and main, then the craving will decrease little by little, little by little. But it is not so easy to eradicate the craving at one time of practicing meditation. We have to practice repeatedly. If we cannot totally eradicate the craving in this very life, then the next life we have to expect to continue practicing this vipassana. So life after life, we try to practice the vipassana, and then finally our craving will be uprooted. So in one life, if you can practice with might and main, you can eradicate the craving to some extent, because there are four mega. Sotapatti Magga, Sakadagami Magga, Anagami Magga, Arahata Magga. If you can eradicate the craving to some extent by the Sotapatti Magga, then it is enough. But even if you cannot try just to become a Sotapanna person in this very life, then when you try to practice Dana, Sila, Samatha, and Vipassana, then your craving will become thinner and thinner. That means that your craving will become, will decrease little by little, little by little. In this way, if you slowly practice, then this practice will be so much grateful to you to compare with the person who do not practice this at all. You are so grateful than the ordinary person who do not practice this at all. So I hope you can practice as much as you can. You don't need to be eager to eradicate this craving so much. When you practice little by little, then your craving or your defilements will go behind. Your practice goes apart. I hope so. I encourage you to do like this, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much for your explanation. Thank you so much, Sayadaw.
Okay, any question?
Dạ, thưa Ngài, cho con hỏi một câu được không ạ? Thưa Ngài, nếu như một người mà nghe Pháp nhiều nhưng mà thực hành ít thì có dùng gì không ạ? Hay là cái đó là hoài công vô ích?
She would like to ask if a person listens to a lot of Dhamma, then is it beneficial for her meditation or not?
Oh, that is a very good question. When you listen to the Dhamma a lot, that is also very grateful, very helpful to your meditation practice. When you, even though you don't practice at all, you may listen to the Dhamma. Whether you can practice it or not, you may listen to the Dhamma, then you get the knowledge and you understand how to practice the meditation. When you want to practice, it is very easy for you to practice. But now
Thank
you
you
are
for
busy.
waiting. They have arrived 5 p.m. people in our holding the.
So if you cannot practice now, you just listen. And when you want to practice it, you can practice easily because you have already understood how to practice meditation. Because the Buddha said, no one becomes realize that the noble truth without listening to the Dhamma. So if you want to become the noble person, you must listen the Dhamma. You must listen the Dhamma and you must practice. There are two primary causes to become noble person, Ariya person. Okay?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. If there's no questions, just share our merits. Idame Bonya,
Idame Bunya,
Asawakaya,
Asawakaya,
Waha Hotu,
Hotu,
Idame Bonya,
Idame Bunya,
Nibanasa,
Nipanasa,
Bachayo,
Pachayo,
Hotu,
Hotu,
Imang,
Imang,
Bunya Pagang,
Bunya Pagan,
Sabha Satana,
Tapasanan,
Pachima,
Pachima,
Sadhu, 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 Sukita
Satu,
Hota Toka Mojata, Sukita Hota Toka Mojata, Sukita Hota Toka Mojata, be happy, be free from all kinds of suffering.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Sayadaw, for the
Thank
teaching
you very
today.
much, Sayadaw.
We wish you
Để các
good
bạn
health
giúp
and longevity. Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu.
Okay.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
Ban tổ chức ạ. I will
Xin
leave
chào cả lớp ạ.
now. See you next week.
Em còn kính chào ban quản trị lớp ạ. Cũng chính chào sư cô Phước Tệ ạ.
Phương ơi.
Dạ.